So today we are going to start Azure DevOps, right? So it's also like called AZ-400. So it's about DevOps on Azure. So till now we studied about the DevOps, how to create a DevOps environment. So let's try to understand why exactly we were using DevOps, right? What was the purpose? We studied about GitHub, we studied about Jenkins, we studied about Ansible, Docker, everything. But what was the whole purpose? We did this in the very first introduction class. What was that? So basically, we had this repository GitHub, correct? Where my developers were uploading their codes, right? So these are if this is the developer and they're uploading their code on my GitHub repository, correct? So let's say it's GitHub and this is their repository. So my entire team uploaded their code, we merged the branches and we have the final product ready, correct? Now what after this, what was the next?
Then we fetch the code in.
This was coding, right? Now we need to build it, right? So to build, to compile, right? And to create an artifact. You remember in Jenkins we created pipeline?
Yeah.
Yes. So pipeline was basically a combination of multiple factors, steps, or you can say stages, right?
Yeah.
So from here we had Jenkins, which would pick up our codes from there, correct? So we use Jenkins to create our pipeline, right? And it used to pick these codes, right?
Right.
And what exactly it would do with the codes?
Build, compile, build, and create artifact.
So it would compile, build, right? Compile and
create artifact.
And artifact. I think the spelling is correct, right? And we called it what? Pipeline, right? So after this is done, it would deploy where? On the relevant platform. Now that platform could be anything. That could be any cloud service. There could be any other virtual machine or any data center, wherever it is supposed to be deployed, right? So now because we are now going to study about Azure DevOps. So Microsoft has built up their own platform for DevOps. Anyhow, we know that GitHub is already owned by them, right? So for the pipeline and for other deployment purpose, now we don't need to depend on any other tool, right? So even Azure have their own pipelining and DevOps environment. So that is what we are going to study today. Fine. So let's go to Azure first now. Let me share my screen. Just give me 2 minutes. So this is Azure DevOps, right? So what we are going to do here is, let's say our developer uploaded my code here, right? Now Azure pipeline would pick those code, compile, build, and it would create the artifact. Now this would be this pipeline would be released, and then it would be deployed on our app services. So what we are going to do, we have our own codes on my GitHub. From there, I want to deploy it on my app services. So in a typical environment, either I would have built a server where it would be connected to my code, or in a DevOps environment, I have used Jenkins and other tools to pick it up and deploy it. But here I'm using only the Azure tools. So this is GitHub, and then I would be using pipeline, and then it would be released. Then the artifact would be deployed on a Azure app services. correct?
Okay.
So we are creating a complete DevOps environment here using the Azure services. Fine. Fine. So we are here onto Azure DevOps environment. So either you can see here you have GitHub login as well. So if you have an account on the GitHub, you can log in directly from your GitHub account. But and also you can sign in to Azure DevOps also. But I'm going to sign in for free for the free trial. Okay. So let's go here. So I already have a free trial account. That is why I can use this. Otherwise, you have to create one. Sign it up. Okay. Okay. So you see, it's taking me to my trial account. All right. All right. So here is my account. Now you can see on the left hand side, you can see my default organization that it is showing by my name. If you want, you can create your own organization. You remember in GitHub, we created a organization, then project, yes, then team. Same way, you can create your organization here. So, and then underneath you can see organization setting. There you can put your organization details like your URL, your description, your time zone, billing, everything is given here. You want to create a users, you want to create a project, everything you can do. It is you will find too much similarity with the other tools that we have already used in DevOps. So let's go back. I'm going to use this default organization. I don't see a need to create a new one right away. So let's create a project. Okay, because I'm planning to launch a web app. So you can put a description if you want. It should be DevOps, I guess. Okay, now select public. Fine. Now create a project. Well, we are into the project. Now on the left hand side, you can see the summary. Yes. Then you would see the board. Board is a kind of dashboard which would see you all the details about your project. You can create a new work item. You can open the queries. I hope you remember when we were working on GitHub, we had the query option, right? With you can create a task and you can assign it to your team member. We have done all this in the GitHub, correct? The same way you can create here.
Yeah, okay.
Right? Then this is the repos. Go to repo. Here you can, now you see this. Generate Git credential, right? So you can see my Git URL there. Yes. You see? Now you see this, this is the URL for my repository here onto the Azure DevOps, right? So in case I want to copy or clone this repository into my local machine, all you have to do is copy this URL, go to the command prompt, paste it. So we'll first have to create a repository where we want a folder where we want to copy it. Okay. So I created a folder. Under that, we can now fine. We did git clone. You remember? Enter. Now it is copying my entire repository into my local machine. Under the C drive, there is a folder Azure repo, and there you will find this entire repository copied. Fine.
Okay. Okay.
Now this is the pipeline we were talking about. So pipeline is a collection of stages, correct? Where? So let's create a. We'll create a pipeline. So from where you want to pick? So I want one from my GitHub. My codes are in GitHub, correct? I'll put it up from here. So which one I want? This is my path. This is my GitHub account, and this is my repository where my codes are uploaded. So this is basically a .NET code for a web app. So I'm going to pull it. You see it is showing my account and all my repositories. So let's go to this repository and let it create a pipeline for me. Now you see, this is in the form of YAML file. You remember that YAML file we used for the Ansible, correct? And that is basically that help us to do the auto configuration. Now you see it is creating the task, yeah, and different task and different builds it's creating. Let's go down and see. So, and at the end, this is something that would help me to build the artifacts, right? So that has to be there. No, you see what it says: publish build artifact, publish build artifact to Azure pipeline or window file share. So that is something important. If this is missing, your entire YAML file would not work. Yes. So it is my YAML file is ready. My stages are already defined by default. I didn't have to do something. Simply run. It's creating the pipeline. You see. So it's quite easy.
We only select the GitHub.
All you have to give which code you want to be published.
Okay.
It would pick up automatically. It would create the YAML file. It would create the jobs. Let's see the jobs. You see what is the status of the job? It's queued, and once we click, it's initialized. Now it would show you every stage that is it's completing. You see, one by one, each task from this left hand side, you can see here performing. Now it is getting the get command, then it would go for the build, then it would go for the test. So all the stages would be one by one performed.
Just like a Groovy script.
Yes. How we did in the Groovy script, you remember? The same way. So it's like that we did in the Jenkins. Here, Azure is giving me the same platform, same tool in Azure Pipeline.
But here we are using YAML. Okay.
What does it say? Finishing job. So it is completed, right? You want to see the log, you can see this. You want to export it, you want to share with someone, you can do that. Correct? Now let's go back. So in this, if you see, My developers uploaded the code in, we went to Azure pipeline, that is my artifacts are ready, right? Now what we need to do? We need to deploy it somewhere, correct? So now we are going to use Azure App Services where we are going to deploy this. My pipeline is ready, staging is done, build, compile, everything is done. We are ready to launch it. So let's go to App Services. Add.
So we must have an app service.
Yes, it's basically the platform, right? Okay. You have this code ready, right? You have the pipeline ready. Where are you going to launch it? You need a platform to publish, correct? So that's what this app service is giving me, that platform. I'll name it TechPledge app, fine. Now it's ASP.NET, as I said, it's an ASP.NET for the web app. Okay, I can select my location. Right, I'll select the size. I'm going to take dev test, right? This one is free. I'll pick this up. Let's review and create. Create. All right. So my deployment is complete and my app is also ready. Let's see. So this is the URL. Let's try to open this. See, so my TechPledge app that we built is ready, correct? And this is the app that we built. So this was my code was all about. That is a ASP.NET platform, right? Now, if you see here, so the developer uploaded the code. We used the pipeline, and then we deployed the artifact through the app services. Now let's deploy it through the release. Okay, so how to do that? This is the release, correct? Let's go. So release is a very important part of any project, correct? So here we'll have to connect the pipeline. This is the app service. Let's correct. There is so many other services are available, right? So which are where we can actually go ahead and deploy my thing. So let's say I want to use a skill set, that also we can use. So there are so many services I can use with my pipeline. Right now, because we are working on the app service, we are going to use this. Fine, apply. Okay. So what is the name of this stage? So I'll leave it to stage 1, no problem. Okay. So in stage 1, now again, let's add an artifact. Right. So stage 1 was that built. Now we are going to build. Yes, this is my project. Let's select this. Right. So this artifacts were already built in the pipeline. Now we are trying to bring them in a sequence, right? So that it can be complete the project. Fine. So that is now right. So stage 1 is my job. Okay. Put the subscription here. Wait. Okay. Okay, so this is my subscription, right? I have to authorize it. Okay, let me log in.
So we are connecting it with my Azure. So
Yes.
my app service will be visible
That
now?
app service we created, that would be visible here. Just wait for a minute. It is still authorizing. We have to wait.
Okay. Okay.
So now it is clear, right? So what we did in the pipeline, that now we are doing in the release.
Okay.
Right? So that was this. You see this app we created. Now select that app.
Mm-hmm. Now I'm getting little. Okay.
Okay, fine. Now save. Okay, I'll let it be in the root. Now let's create the release. Fine. This is the final stage. The stage 1. Correct. This was my first, and that's the stage that was created there. Now what was my artifact? This is my artifact. All right. So this is my artifact. But imagine a situation where my development team upload a new code for the same project, right?
Mm-hmm.
The moment they would upload the new code, right, my pipeline would get updated and it would create a new artifact. So for every time, every version of my code, a new artifact would be released. So I have to create a new release, taking, so I have a liberty here that which version of the artifact I want to release. Okay. So let's say I have a 5 different versions. I want I try to release all the 5. Then I realize I want to keep it on third. Right. So that is the reason that release part is still a manual thing. However, the pipeline would keep on creating a new artifact every time there is a new version detected. Okay. Fine. Okay. So, but it's my control that which one I want to release. Okay. So all the release you will start finding under this artifact section. We just now we found this Shruti Sinha app, right? If we had multiple artifacts, it would have shown there. Correct? It's a drop down menu if you notice. Correct? Now let's create. Then my release is created. You see, deploy. Okay, run on agent. Fine. So it is ready to release. It's actually we have created the release now. You see? Okay. Let's go. So it's not deployed yet. So we are going to deploy it now. Okay. So let's go to deploy. So it is being deployed with my artifact 1 and release 1. Okay, let's deploy. Fine. It is showing like queued. Okay. View the queue. Okay. Let's go to stage. So it's creating the job. Let's wait.
So now it is deploying on my app service.
Yes.
So after that, we will get a new website, huh?
All right. So it's initializing, it's downloading my artifact, and it's deploying where? On Azure App Service.
Okay.
Correct?
It's quite easy than Jenkins and Ansible.
Then you use multiple tools, no? So you have to create a link between them, right? So in Jenkins, when we trying to use Azure, first we have to create install the plugins, and then we have to connect it through. So you see, now my setup is ready, it's all deployed. Let's refresh it. You see, now this is my updated version of my code, right? So every time the code is updated, a new artifact would be created, and with this new artifact we can publish a new site, right? Accordingly, my site would keep on changing. So this is my code, you see. Let's change.
So what we are doing, we are changing a code, huh?
I'm trying to tweak this a little bit so that you can see.
Okay. So
right? Let's make it web app. Sorry. Okay. So I made just a small change so that you can see. Right now, if you can go to this, you can see it says Shruti Sinha. Now what I did, Shruti Sinha web app. Let's see how this change is accepted here. So ideally what it should do, it should create a new artifact, right? Let's check in the pipeline. Now what it says, you see, just now update index file. This is what we change, correct? It's updating. You see that it's moving. Okay. Now we have a new one, right? Just now, correct?
So we can also see the changes.
Job.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. But release will not happen automatically.
No, release is my control. I should, if I want, right?
Okay.
Because everything is fine, but it should, somewhere we need a control. What we actually want to let it in the final version to be published, right?
Okay.
It's not that whatever my team updated and it is automatically published on my site. That is not a safe idea, correct? Na? So this is why that part is still manual. Let's go finish show. Let's see the release. Okay, this is still the same. We have to create a new release. Now if you go here, you will find two versions, 19.1 and 19.2, right? Which one you want to pick? So I pick this stage, I pick the later version, and I will make it version 2. Right? Great. So this is the second release. We have to deploy, remember?
So we have to deploy manually, huh?
Right.
Each time.
Every time you have to deploy it manually.
Okay, so it will say from current deployment to release 1 to release 2.
2, yes. Okay. So actually we are doing it on a very small scale, but in an actual environment, release is a big event for the development or the deployment team. Correct?
Okay.
Initializing, downloading, and deploy. Right? Let's see. In progress. Wait.
This is cool, huh?
Quite cool and quite time saving. And this is actual like the DevOps environment, what we call it, CI/CD, continuous integration, continuous deployment. Right? So all, if this is set up, all my deployment team can keep uploading, and here I can keep releasing.
Okay.
Let's refresh and see. So this is the updated version of my website.
Okay, cool.
Great. So like this, I mean, this is a small change, but there could be a bigger change, correct? In some scenario, the entire website web app could be changed, correct?
It's a free tool or?
No, it's both versions are available. You see, the DevOps service pricing free is also available, and if you have a bigger team, up to 5 users, you can use it for free, right? If you have a bigger team, then there are charges applied.
Okay.
And here is the URL. You can go here and check the prices, current prices, correct? No?
Cool, man.
Right? Okay. So this was the DevOps CI/CD environment, and then I go here. You can check on my site. Okay. So if you see the complete scenario somewhere look like this, my developer would be uploading the code to the repository, right? Then the pipeline would be built, right? Then it would be tested. It would be deployed, correct? And then we can bring it into release, and then we can monitor and work. So as per the feedback, our developer would again start. So it's a continuous process, keeps on going.
Okay.
Now you can monitor my application and see how it works. Right? View inside application dashboard. Now you see it's a one live stream server, right? And it's working here. All the details about my server response time, every query, all the details are showing here. Correct now? So this is a kind of default page that I have got from the app tools, right? If I go here, this is my application map.
Okay.
So this makes life very easy for the administrator and the developer. So this is a true sense of DevOps, development and operations, and that is in the continuous process. Fine.
Good.
Wonderful. I hope this is clear to you now. And the lab manual is also uploaded on the portal. You can get it from here, right?
Okay.
Fine. Okay, then great. Then see you tomorrow in the next session. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Take care. Good night.